The Eagles are 9-1. Just let that sink in. 9-1. Yeah, that's right. We beat the Chiefs last night, baby. We're live taking your reactions and thoughts on the game in 30 seconds.
Fourth and goal.
And a very good morning, everybody. And it is a very good morning. Welcome to Trending in the AM right here on Philadelphia Sports Network, where your opinions actually matter. I'm your host, Phil Stiefel. Please do me that favor. Hit that like, share, subscribe button. I greatly appreciate it. Help to continue grow the algorithm, grow the show, and get everybody's thoughts and opinions in on what was a stressful, hard-hitting, hard-fighting game on Monday Night Football, where our Philadelphia Eagles beat the defending Super Bowl champion, Kansas City Chiefs, 21-17. We're going to get all into it this morning, talking all the different ins and outs of the game, the good, the bad, the ugly, and there was a lot of ugly on both sides. We're going to get into all of it, but make sure you do me that favor, hit that like, subscribe button. Let's go, birds, and let's get the comments underway. Right off the bat, Travis, two late pickups, Byard and Robbie, completed this secondary like LeBron and Wade, the Miami championship. I wouldn't go that far, but they did make big plays when it mattered most. I'm sure Sidney Brown, Eli Ricks, and Josh Jobe. Yeah, you'd be surprised. Sidney Brown and Ricks did play a decent amount last night, actually. What is up, Jeremy? Relatively healthy, leaving Kansas City with a win after a bye week. Can't ask for more. You can't ask for more, period. I mean, that game last night was one of the most insane games in the world. And I say insane because every little thing that you talk about says, or not you specifically, Jeremy, but you say, everything we're going to talk about today means that we should be talking about an Eagles loss. But yet this team just finds a way to win. That's all. Let's just win. Good morning, Will Smith. Go Birds. Zach, up late last night, up this morning with me. I love it. I love it. Chiefs wrecked. Well, the Chiefs did not play well in the second half. We'll say that. Victory Tuesday. Kyle, you have to go to every Eagles-Chiefs game in Kansas City. You are now 1-0 as an Eagles fan in Kansas City. So now, forever, you need to go. You better start saving your money for the next game. Victory Tuesday sounds damn good. I know Victory Monday sounds good, but Victory Tuesday sounds damn good. Phil is right. Phil is always right. Victory Tuesday, Davon. I know everybody. Adam, Victory Tuesday. Adam, I told you that was a bold parlay you sent me in that message last night. Didn't come close on that one, my man. I'm ashamed to say I was so mad at halftime. I turned and watched NBA games. Well, you know what? That's disappointing. That is disappointing. I have to call out Will Smith. You can't give up on your team. Not at halftime. Not this Eagles team. This Eagles team finds ways to win. This Eagles team finds ways to never give up. It's not just we always talk about with injuries in sports, next man up, philosophy. Well, with the Eagles, it's next play philosophy. And I think that's what defines this team. That's this team's identity. So shame on you, Will Smith, for going away at halftime. Who had the under besides me? I did not have the under. I didn't think it was going to be super high scoring, K1, but that score made sense by the gameplay, by the weather, everything. Had to know it was going to be like that. The Desai halftime adjustments are becoming legendary. Duck. Sean Desai's defense pitched a shutout in the second. Let's not just say it got better in the second half. He pitched a freaking shutout against Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce. Now, there were some drops in the second half. There were some drops late in the game on that Chiefs offense, for sure. And that's part of the game. The Eagles have had their share of drops over the years, in crucial moments. Alshon Jeffries, Saints game, one to be specific that pops up instantly. But let me tell you something. Sean Desai and this defense, why they can't put a complete game together on defense, I don't know. I don't know what he's game planning for all week that he has to start slow. But man, pitched a shutout against the Kansas City Chiefs. The O-line looked terrible in the first half. It looked atrocious. And it didn't look great in the second half. It looked better in the second half. But man, we put a lot of gold jackets on just outlet on a regular basis, Davon. And man, that pass protection last night. It's been bad this year and bad at times over the last few years. But last night, that offensive line's pass protection was atrocious. That offensive line needs to look themselves in the mirror today and be like, yo, we've got to be better for Buffalo. O-line looked old, you mean? I wouldn't say they looked old because, again, we've already been over this. There's only 2 old guys on the offensive line, man. You got to get your facts straight. 3/5 of your offensive line is young. So, Brian Johnson play calling had me ripping my hair out. Thank God our defense showed up. Brian Johnson is something we've got to talk about, Peanut, for sure. The play calling in the first half especially, and somewhat in the second half as well, was not good. But not only was the play calling bad, the execution was bad. It was just bad all around. I felt, we talked on this show that I was really leaning towards picking a Chiefs victory yesterday. I didn't want to. You guys convinced me not to, and I'm glad I didn't. But, at halftime, I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, this is not going too good. This is not looking pretty. And Brian Johnson was one of the big reasons why. But the offensive line played a role in that as well. O-line started to settle down in the second half. It was a completely different team after half. Why can't we play a complete game? Why can't we just go, you know, you know, opening kickoff right? And we thought opening kickoff happened. Hassan Reddick, a sack on the first play of the game, quick 3 and out on the Eagles defense. With the Eagles defense, we're like, all right, this is gonna go well. And then all of a sudden, it just snail paced that right there. To be the best, you have to beat the best. Well, guess what? We beat the best. Woo! Last night. That's right. Kyle is the GOAT. Kyle is the GOAT. Absolutely. How's Kyle up? He was at the game. Probably didn't get back to his hotel room late. He's probably got to be up because he's probably got a flight to catch today. Plus, training in the AM is the best morning show in Philadelphia. You got to get in on it every single morning. Let's go, Mitchie Poo. Chiefs scored 0. Pitched a shutout. Aaron Nola couldn't have done better. I didn't give up. I was just trying to save my TV from being smashed. Excuses, Will. Excuses. I'm not going to let this one down. You're part of the core 12, my man, but I'm not going to let this one slide. Violation. Violation. Isn't that what Mike Missinelli would say? That's a violation. Great teams. Oh, Drew, this is it right here. We don't even need to do the rest of the show thanks to Drew. Because this is something I've been saying for my entire sports fandom. Great teams always find ways to win. Plain and simple. They found a way. They dug deep. They found their intestinal fortitude. When they got smacked in the face, they're like, let's smack back. Kelce is choker, key fumble. Travis Kelce had a bad game. He's had a bad back-to-back weeks, for sure. Travis Kelce. I can't wait to see him break up with Taylor Swift because it's a distraction, or Taylor Swift to break up with him because he's not good enough anymore. I don't know. Or he's going to go crying into our arms or something. Chiefs are the worst second-half team in the NFL. We happen to be a better team in the second half. It's a marathon, not a race. Absolutely. See, I don't know if that's a fact or not, what Peanut's saying here, but what I will say is, as long as you keep the game close and you make the right adjustments at halftime, you're going to find ways to win. Always going to find ways to win. Pitched a shutout against Patrick Mahomes, the Chiefs, and the refs. Look, there's going to be a lot of talk from Chiefs Kingdom and Eagles Nation today about the refs. The refs were bad on both sides. They missed holding calls blatantly on both sides. That DeAndre Swift touchdown, blatant holding call. The refs were bad all around last night. They were letting them play, then they weren't letting them play, then they were letting things slide, then they weren't. All I want from referees in football, umpires in baseball, all across sports, just give me a consistently called game. And they did not call a consistent game last night. Kelce was missing Swift last night. That must have been what it was. She wasn't there, so Kevin Byard finally made his debut. Kevin Byard had at least 2 huge plays last night. He did a lot. So everybody's going to be happy about Byard because of the pick and Roby because of the punch out fumble forced. Uh, but they also had a lot of mistakes. There in the first half, there were a lot of miscommunications. Wasn't there? Was it Kevin Byard that was in zone when everybody else was in man, or vice versa? I don't know. There was some issues still in the secondary last night. But you know what? They made the plays when it mattered most, and that's all that you can ask for. Make the plays. Who looked old? I want to know who looked old. Brian Johnson's play calling is getting better, but still suspect. Yeah, so I know Peanut already said it, and Duck's bringing it up, and I'm going to go on a little tangent here, then we'll get caught up with the comments in a minute. Everybody's crushing Brian Johnson's play calling, and they're going to, and they're going to question it all week long. I bet you Nick Sirianni, I didn't say up for the press conference last night. I'm sure he was asked, and if not, he'll be asked this week. If he's ever considered making a change at Brian Johnson doing that. But look, how do I phrase this? Brian Johnson's play calling was suspect, yes. But let's not also forget that we were going up against, what did I say yesterday, the third or fourth best defense in the NFL? So why did we expect to put up 30 or 40 points and move the ball at will? Like, they were 2 great teams doing battle last night. Brian Johnson's play calling was suspect, but how much of it was suspect and how much of it was just the Chiefs reading, reacting, and being better in that moment? Everybody blames play calling or coaches or this or that. Nobody gives the opposing team ever any credit for just stopping the opponent. And to me, Brian Johnson's play calling wasn't great, but it also had something to do with just the Chiefs' defense. I know the Chiefs' defense was really good. I've seen highlights. I've watched some minutes of games. I've never watched a complete Chiefs game this year. The Chiefs looked damn good on defense last night. Like, really damn good. Like, that's one of the more elite defenses I've ever seen from Kansas City in the Andy Reid era. So I got to give them credit where credit's due. Instead of just blaming Brian Johnson, let's just give some credit to that Chiefs defense for being the real deal. Don't pick Chiefs. I didn't pick the Chiefs. I picked the Eagles last night. Talk about what went bad tomorrow. Exactly. We'll break down the bad tomorrow more so. Let it settle in. But you know what? It was still a good win. It was a bad game that we still won. I think it was a big game. Jitters in the first half. I don't know about jitters. It was a feeling. I said it yesterday on the show. It was like it was going to be a 15-round boxing match. They were going to feel themselves out with some jabs early on and then start swinging for the fences later. And for God's sake, can we get our running backs to pick up blitzes? Man, Kenny G, there was one big hit that Jalen Hurts took, or one big sack, where he literally let, I don't know if it was Chris Jones, I forget who it was, Peanut, literally run right by him. He literally watched him go. Didn't even put up an arm. Man, Byard made my night. Great to see his first interception, dude. Guy's a ball. I think he was kind of out of position on the interception, actually. And I know they said it was a Mahomes mistake on the throw. He was a little out of position, but you know what? Capitalizing on mistakes when the time is right. Casey has a legit D. That's all I'm saying. We might have looked bad at times yesterday. Brian Johnson's play calling might have been suspect at times. But you know what? It's not like we were going up against the New York Giants defense, or, I don't even know who's the worst defense in football right now. Carolina? I don't know. It's not like we were going up against some scrum defense. We're going up against one of the best Ds. I think top 3 in the NFL. 9-1, baby. Doesn't that sound damn good, Desert Eagle? 9-1. K1, you violating. Next, I'm going to see Jackson Mahomes dancing that L back to KC. I love it. The walk back to the hotel. So you had a walk to the hotel. I love that. That had to be a fantastic walk. Pumping your Kyle. What jersey were you wearing last night? I need to know. Wearing that, walking back in KC, that had to be a great feeling. AJ Brown had a quiet night. AJ Brown was shut down last night. Absolutely. Just couldn't get it going. The whole offense was shut down for most of the night. The running game was not, but the passing game was shut down last night. Mahomes crying to the rest. Every play is golden. Yeah, I mean, it's what you do, and stars do it in every sport. They always complain. They're always going to do that, and you know what? I don't actually blame a quarterback or a star point guard or Bryce Harper, complaining to umpires. I don't blame them. Dude, they're that's what they're doing. They're working the refs. They're working the umps. They're trying to get calls in their favor. I don't blame people for crying to the refs. Does it get annoying sometimes? Sure. But on the flip side, it's kind of part of their job. It's part of the game. What up? Yep, that's right. No negative Philadelphia today. Basically, what happened to the Super Bowl happened in this game as far as the Chiefs blew a double-digit lead in the second half. And just think that. We were down 17-7 at the half. The world was collapsing. Will Smith was turning his TV off. And we came back and pitched a shutout and did just enough to get that W last night. That's all you can hope for. That's all you can ask for. I love having wide receiver 1A and wide receiver 1B. They factor out Brown and Smitty just takes over. Absolutely. Absolutely. The difference between the Eagles wide receiver core and the Chiefs wide receiver. If Patrick Mahomes had A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, the Chiefs might never lose a game again ever in the history of the franchise. You invest in those wide receivers. You got to. Refs owe you one. The refs owe nobody. Stop. Refs need to be better was awful It really was. The refs were bad on both sides of the football massively last night. And they still called 14 penalties. Both teams had 7 penalties called on them or accepted on them. Some got declined. Refs don't call on both teams. They did. They made blunders on both sides. The refs huddled on the grounding flag on Mahomes. I mean, it was pretty. They were talking, should we let it slide? Let's just let it slide. Come on. Roger Goodell's in my ear. He said, we really need the Chiefs to come back. No, stop. Victory, Eagles. Fly, Eagles, fly, baby. Woke up this morning with you. Dude, I'm exhausted, Jim. Late night, then had to set this show up, then get up. I had a busy morning day at the pizza shop yesterday. I'm exhausted. But you know what? That Eagles victory and a couple cups of coffee will power me through today. Got plenty of time to sleep later in the week, Kelsey, Swift, scripted, confirmed. We're going to hear a lot of scripted jokes this week. Blah, blah, blah. Well, it takes time to get used to how your teammate play. Once that solidifies, we should be fine. Talking about the defensive coordinator or defensive backs. Gotcha. A.J. Brown has been quiet, but the bright side is that the Eagles didn't need A.J. to beat the best team. Imagine how. Look, all of it. Yeah, they did what they did to stop it. They said going into the game, we are not going to let A.J. Brown beat us. Well, guess what? He did, but Devontae Smith did for sure. No Goddard hurts us. It does, but again, just like last year, I'm pretty sure we've never lost in the last 6 games that Dallas Goedert's missed. Think about that. We have not lost a game Dallas Goedert has missed in the last 2 years. On the flip side, it's still a major issue. They were trying to force the ball to Julio Jones. They were trying to the wide receiver bubble screens just need to stop. You could definitely see issues with the play calling. Those plays might have been a little smoother with somebody like Dallas Goedert out there. I've said this about the defense. They are elite when you need them to step up and swing the momentum. Yeah, they're the perfect closer. They're like the Brad Lidge of 2008 Phillies. When it's crunch time, when it's closing time, they're going to come up big every time. They're going to come up big 100% of the time, 100% of the time. Chris Jones sacked him 10 times in one drive. I kind of felt like it was just on 10 times in the first 3 plays of the game. Chris Jones is just a monster. He's a beast. And Stoutland University gets a great F last night. Overreaction a little bit. But on the pass protecting, it was god awful. And we give Stoutland U a gold jacket every day. But man, he's got to sit those guys down and figure out where the communication issues are wrong and what they're doing wrong. Dude, there was one sack that it was a holding penalty maybe. There was one play later in the game where they were zoned in on Mailata, and he had the worst footwork I've ever seen from an offensive lineman on that play. He just got beat bad. I don't know what the problem is with the offensive line in pass protection, but Jeff Stoutland needs to put the gold jacket away for a little bit, put his university shirt on, and get back to the classroom with these guys because it was bad. I don't think it would have been as tough to move the ball if we had Goddard. Yeah, absolutely. It's just weird and coincidental that we always seem to win when he doesn't play. The Chiefs don't have a lot of talent on that team. They're perfectly coached for sure. Yeah, they have the greatest quarterback. They have the greatest tight end. They have the greatest coach. And they invested heavily in their offense and defensive line. It's kind of like the Eagles' MO. They just spent so much on the Patrick Mahomes contract and some of the other contracts where they couldn't invest in wide receiver. That's what makes Howie Roseman so special. He invested in all those things, but also saved enough money to get his quarterback. You can't pay a quarterback $50 million a year and give him Joe Schmo off the street to throw to. You got to find some talent for him. I've just never seen us suck so much at stopping the blitz that first half. I mean, it felt like, dude, it really did. It felt like they were playing 50 on 10 every single play. But let's just tip the cap to the Chiefs. Maybe they just had a really good game plan, too. You know, we criticize our own team and coaches, which is fine. But let's tip the cap to the opposing team because it's their job to do what they did last night and lose. Chiefs don't have a lot of talent. They are just perfect. Oh, did we see that? Yeah, it came up twice. Sorry. It's got to be killing Nick Wright that he is wrong about our Eagles again. He'll probably double down and say we didn't win the game. It doesn't mean nothing. I've already seen people post that we're the worst 9-1 team in the history of the NFL. I don't care. We're 9-1. How many other teams in the NFL are 9-1? Nick Wright? Nobody. So you know what? Give us credit where credit is due. It's like Tyson Punch-Out. You aren't going to outright beat Mahomes. Eagles knew the formula. Bend, don't break. Absolutely. The secondary held up mostly. I mean, again, there were a lot of drops last night on the Chiefs side of the ball. What is up, Reality Check? Good morning. So Jalen still can't read blitzes. Dude, there was no reading blitzes last night. The blitzes were coming. And there was no reading them and get rid of the ball. It was just see the blitz coming and protect yourself. So I won't put it on Jalen as much. I would have in your face everyone if I was Kyle. That's right. Absolutely. I was rocking my midnight green 52 champions jersey. That's right. I like it. Good choice right there. 9-1. That historical 1776, brother. It's damn good. I can't wait until Hurts gets in sync with Julio also. Julio seems to really be willing to go. He's blocking out there. He's doing a lot. I'll give Julio Jones a lot of credit for what he's done in his short time here. Great win. Without the mistakes, we would have beat them really easily. Yeah, but mistakes happen. And the Chiefs, see, the thing is, both teams made a lot of mistakes. Like, it's not just the Chiefs' 2 drops at the end of the game that cost them the game. They made mistakes all game long. The Eagles made mistakes all game long. We just found a way to come out on top. We lost time of possession. We lost total plays massively. I think they ran 20 more offensive plays than us, had about 4+ minutes of more time of possession. We just made the bigger plays when necessary, and we made the least amount of mistakes last night. That's all there is to it. They were going to make sure AJ did not go wild. I mean, did you think the way this season was going, we'd ever see a game where AJ Brown played almost the entire game? I think he played 95% of the snaps. Let me see. Yeah, he played 53 of the 56 offensive snaps, and he had 1 catch for 8 yards. Man, why does Phil not say the word fam? I thought our opinions matter. Do I not say it? I don't know. Just like I didn't know I said without a shadow of a doubt too much. I guess I don't say fam enough. I'm sorry. I'll start saying fam more. Play calling is like me playing Madden. Just switch the play to the other side if it doesn't work. Isn't that too predictable? Who's to blame? Sirianni or Brian Johnson? The play calling was bad. That's on Brian Johnson last night. But also, like I said, you got to tip the cap. It was a great Chiefs defense trying to stop Brian Johnson every night. Look, Spags is a great defensive coordinator. He's a Super Bowl winning defensive coordinator. Head coach. He's been around for a long time. You can't take credit away from him for what he couldn't get the mute button up fast enough. Sorry about that. Excuse me. Oh, after a late night like that, man, it's gonna be a long day today. The new NFL rule changes on hits make it close to impossible to officiate a game. Being a ref in the NFL is like fighting with one hand. It's not a bad point, Peanut. Not a bad point at all. That sneeze is coming back. I got to clear out. Sorry, guys. It's going to be one of those days today. As long as the power doesn't go out mid-show again. Lane Johnson got beat by Chris Jones bad. Mailata had that hold on Jones bad to stop him from sacking Hurts for the 100th time. Yeah, the offensive line, it just wasn't good. It wasn't clean. If I have any concerns after last night, it's not on Brian Johnson. It's not on any. The offensive line is my biggest concern. plain and simple. It was a chess game. The bubble screen set up the long ball to Devontae. The defense will keep inching up the stuff. That's a fantastic point from Mista. We complain about the bubble screens, and I did it nonstop because they're always so. One of those bubble screens was a bad choice to throw. I think it was to Devontae Smith, and it looked like it got blown up, but it looked like it almost got pick six too. Um, but it's a good point. Those bubble screens set up Devontae Smith getting wide open down the sideline on a slot corner and making the play of the game at that moment. It's a fair point. Very good point. For sure. Troy Aikman was actually very fair. He was actually. I was thinking about that last night while I was watching the game. The commentary last night on the game as a whole was very good. Well, I mean, and no offense, I'll get back to that in a second. I mean, Troy Aikman and Joe Buck are probably the best commentating duo, in the NFL and maybe all of sports. Honestly, I know we hate Joe Buck here in Philly because he doesn't like the Eagles, but as a whole, um, Buck and Aikman do a fantastic job calling football games. Hurts had to get out, and he made them pay. Absolutely. Nick Wright will say it was the Chiefs letting us win, just like Skip said about his Cowboys. It's so funny because it hurts them. It just hurts people. Man, can't you just say you were wrong? Can't people just say I was wrong? That was a great win. Go good job, Eagles. You'll lose next week. Something like that. Nick will probably say the Chiefs lost because of the drop passes, excuses. And that's what they are. They're excuses. People love to make excuses to say that they were right or because they won't say they're wrong. Me, when I'm wrong, I just say I'm wrong. That's what I do. I was debating, not arguing, debating because I said something about Justin Herbert on Twitter yesterday during the daytime. And someone's like, you just don't like Justin Herbert. I'm like, no, it's just I'll admit I'm wrong if he proves me wrong, but he hasn't proved me wrong. That's the way I'm with all sports. Very few Taylor Swift, but there were Taylor Swift references. Then new PSN writer are right. Mahomes burnt us on blitzes, but when we put up good pressure on him, he made mistakes. Very look, and also some of those mistakes. Oh, Becky, yeah, I love it. I love seeing a name like that pop into my comment section. Oh, that just made me laugh, made me smile. I lost my train of thought when I saw Becky there. Mahomes burned us on blitzes. Oh, look, there's something that's not being talked about yet was the field conditions, was the weather. That obviously played a major role in some of the sloppy play last night on both sides of the ball. There was definitely some sloppy play, and the weather played a factor in that. The Chiefs have lots of second-round wide receivers. The Rice guy is a good up-and-comer. I do like him. I think he's got potential. We'll see if he evolves with Patrick Mahomes over the rest of this year and into next year. Thank God they talked football and Mama Kelsey. Yeah, Mama Kelsey, man. Who gets put in the spotlight more, Mama Kelsey or Taylor Swift? Yeah. Pound the like. That's right. Pound that like button. We got 15 likes on YouTube, only 3 in Facebook. It doesn't cost you a thing. Hit that like button. Hit that share button. Does not cost you a thing. Bless you, fam. That's right. See, I'll say fam for you. Phil is like the cool kid. That's your boy until the cooler kids come around. Oh my God, man, chatter, you're dead to me now. Now that I got all that Negatron out of me, boy, it feels good to win Thanksgiving week games. Man, Thanksgiving is so much easier to get through after an Eagles win. Good morning, Eric. Don't call me an oracle, for I am just a man. Greetings, Philip and my children of the chosen 12. Oh man, I love that. I love that. Oh, what is it with Phil today? Like the motorboat and a vacuum. I don't even know what that means. Good morning. Good morning. So many Eagles fans staying at this hotel, and tons of KC fans walk here to get rideshare. We are giving them hell. I love it. I love it. I love it. I hope none of you were worried or stressed. I laid comfortably in the result of my dream. I love it. I love it. I love it. Let's catch up on some of these comments here. Chris Collinsworth is my favorite all time. I don't know. I think he gets a bad rap. I don't think he's as bad as people think. I don't know if he's my favorite. I don't even know if he's in my top 3, but he's better than people give him credit for sure. Beard Bros Unite and hit that like button. I love it. I love it for sure. Please. I wonder what's Juju life is like right now after dissing us. Juju. Is Juju even playing? I don't even know. Is he on the Patriots now? I don't even know where Juju is. With great beards comes great responsibilities. You know what they say? Every woman should marry a man with a beard because it takes great patience to grow a great beard, which means you know what? We can put up with them. Um, I kind of feel sorry for the Chiefs. Andy is going to tear them a new a-hole in practice week. Absolutely. And rightfully so. Because a game like last night comes down to who makes the fewest mistakes. And the Chiefs made far too many mistakes. For the Super Bowl champions, defending undisputed Super Bowl champions, they made far too many mistakes. We got to talk about our tight end problem outside of Goddard. Hey, yo, Zach, I mean, I said it before the season that I spent how many times Mad Chatter used to tell me all the time Dan Arnold was the answer. I'm like, no, we need a real legit number 2 tight end. Dallas Goddard does not stay healthy. And while we win without Dallas Goddard, the offense suffers without Dallas Goddard. So they need to upgrade Jack Stoll. Greg Calcaterra, pretty sure that experiment's over. There's nothing else you can do with Greg Calcaterra. Alberto, should have stepped in. He played 10 snaps I think it was 10 snaps last night. 10 snaps. I mean, Jack Stoll played 31. Gotta work. One of the next things is figuring out that backup tight end position for sure. I was disappointed that Aqua Bowman didn't get a single target. He played 10 snaps. Why? Give the guy. What was the point of bringing him here? At least it was to back up Dallas Goddard, and you still don't use him. I don't get it. I have a picture of Chris Collinsworth picking his nose on the field from a few years ago. I love it. I've seen that before. 24-17 was the score in my dream. 21-17. So your dream was wrong, is what you're saying. Your dream was not accurate, right? So don't brag about being wrong. Nobody signed poor Dan Arnold is still out there and still available for sure. Yes. Where was Kenny Instagram out? I mean, Gainwell. Look, it's funny. So I was looking at the box score, and Kenneth Gainwell had 1 catch and 1 rush last night. I was like, oh, did he not play that much? And he still played a lot of snaps. He just didn't touch the ball. Like, I don't know what the plan is. I expected to see with no Dallas Goddard, maybe some more 2 running back sets. We didn't. We saw a lot more 4 wide receiver sets. Like, Kenny Gainwell was on the field and non-existent in the play call. DeAndre Swift, they got going. I still don't think they run him enough. He touched the ball. He ran the ball 12 times, averaged 6.3 carries per rush. He had 3 catches out of the backfield. So he had over 100 combined all-purpose yards last night. DeAndre Swift. But Kenny Gainwell, 1 catch for 4 yards, 1 rush for 1 yard. Boston Scott had more runs than Kenny Gainwell last night. I don't understand what the game plan is with Kenny Gainwell anymore. I don't. At least we could say we beat Andy Reid once. That's true. We've never beaten Andy Reid before. We beat him now. It's the NFL, not for long. What happened last? We beat him. Doesn't matter all the times we lost. We beat him last. Hurts isn't used to Aqua Bowman yet. Once he does, dude, we're into week 11, Doc. I know he came late in training camp and preseason, but man, we're 11 weeks in here now. And it's not like he's not looking his way. I just dropped my mouse. I hope it didn't break. No, don't leave the site. No. I don't know what the hell just happened there. I don't know what the point of bringing him in was. I don't. I'm knocking things over. I'm sneezing. I'm having a rough morning. I made my eggs for breakfast before the show. And I was in here eating them, getting set up for the show. And my wife's like, did you forget to turn the stove off? I almost burned the house down. I'm going to be knocking things over. I'm going to be dropping things. I'm going to be messing up all day today. I'm so glad next week's Eagles game against the Bills, Mad Chatter, can't wait to get into that later in the week, is a 4:00 game. Because I need an Eagles game not in prime time. Late night. Andy Reid was out-coached for reals. He coached a really good game. Spagnola coached a really good game, I should say. Gainwell played plenty of snaps, and other than 2 blocks, he blocked well. But what else did he do? Like, First off, one of those blocks was massively bad. Other problem is that we got no option. Like our options weren't working. Like you would think they would have gave him a few more play calls and call his number a few more times. I don't know. I don't know what's up with Gainwell. Where he was last night. They to use Swift more and Scott was more effective than Gainwell. Absolutely. I mean the whole 2 plays. I'll take 2 off the 3. We won, and the Chiefs was held to 17. Uh, uh, uh. Not accurate. You can't say you predicted something when you did not predict it accurately. You were close. But close only works in horseshoes and hand grenades, Eric, just so you know. Why don't we use AJ on slant? I saw somebody else say that, and that was one of the problems with the play calling that I had last night. You were calling all these 7-step deep drops, long developing running type offensive plays when the Chiefs were just blitzing all out every play. Shouldn't we have called some quick 3-step drops, 1-step drops, some quick 7-yard slants to AJ Brown, quick out patterns, things like that? Like that's how you stop a blitz. That's how opponents stop our blitz all the time. Quick play calls. But no, Brian Johnson called a lot of long developing plays, and when your offensive line isn't blocking and they're getting massive pressure on your quarterback, that's not going to work. Watching the Chiefs display the sore loser mentality last night reminded me of how much teams honestly hate us. Did they? I wouldn't even have known. Um, I didn't watch any of the game after the game, like any of the post game stuff. How about that diving the spike by Jalen Carter? Sweaty was like, "What are you doing? So funny." I don't even know. I must have missed that. What's up, Billy? How you doing? Kenny Gainwell did a good job when it came to blocking the blitzing backer. He did a good job a bunch of times, but he really bombed a couple times. He really whiffed on a couple uh, plays that led to sacks and pressure on the Jalen Hurts. So got to give credit, but you got to take credit away as well when the time is right. Aqua Bowman probably didn't have starter reps in practice until this bye week. You know what? I think you're just making excuses. Duck, you're just like K1 is Kenny Gainwell's burner account. You're the Aqua Bowman burner account, right? Last year we finesse. This year we fight with grit. I love this comment. Fantastic comment. We do fight with grit. Never give up. Never surrender. That was a bad impersonation. If you know where that's from, extra points for you. Easy W coming up if CBS can catch. Yeah. K1 absolutely not Reed coached well. His players let him down. Exactly. He did get let down. A lot of big mistakes from the Chiefs last night. A couple plays go different ways. That game is totally a loss. Backups are here to back up. You target and see what you got. This team wins in spite out coaching. Eagles are also a top 3 defense as well. Yeah, their run defense. The Eagles' run defense got ran all over in the first half. I don't know what was going on with the run defense in the first half of the game, but we got run all over. And I see on the side somebody picked up on my quote. I'll get to it, but yes, you're spot on. Can we just take a moment to respect Sirianni? The whole team buys in. Absolutely. Okay, well, the team does buy in, and I love it, and I'm here all day for it. Last night was a hand grenade, baby. That's right. I love it. Getting shut out in the second half at home tells me you didn't make adjustments. Absolutely. When I die, bury me in an Eagles jersey so I can come back. I love it. Come back, comment right here. This is of the day, of the week, of the month. I love this from Kyle right here. Love it. Yeah, it's like that's like a drop the mic kind of thing right there. I got to put it back up on the screen. Let's just drop the mic and let's just soak in the greatness of this comment right here. I love it. During the funeral ceremony, you'll make your halftime adjustments, Kyle, and you'll pop up out of that grave right away. I'm hearing Aqua Coat. That's right. Galaxy Quest. Never give up. Never surrender. Love that movie. Such a bad movie. But whenever it's on, I put it on and I laugh my tail off nonstop. What is up, Vincent VJ? Go Birds. That's right. Go Birds. So Jalen Carter said he saw someone else diving the spike and got an interception. So JC jumped underneath the center. Go watch the shorts. All right, I'll have to go watch it. I must have missed that. But yeah, It was raining hard. It's difficult for wide receivers to cut and get open on slippery field, especially for big wide receivers like A.J. Brown. The field was soaked last night. It poured all night. Their cameras didn't do it justice for how much rain was coming down. Jalen Carter is a nightmare. Absolutely. Absolutely. Sorry. I got to come back to this comment still. I love it. Oh man, I love it. I love it. I love it. Um, Joe, well said. Last night was a culture win. On an undisciplined team falls. Absolutely. 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 Sorry, I'm trying to write something down. Um, absolutely. It's all about culture. It's all about discipline. It's all about never giving up. Without a doubt, it is. Exactly. I wish we could do a super chat tip the guy. We all should be like finding him and buying him a beer for that comment. Um, Galaxy Quest is just like the replay. It is. It for 100%. Hence, you got the. Oh, you can't see it right now. My camera got moved a little bit. There's my Joe Flacco jersey or Shane Falco jersey. Um, Feel good, reset the brain type movie. Just play it in the background, and it's always on. You know what I mean? My camera's way off today. Way off. You can't see anything in the background today. Um, but yeah, look, guys, it was a big win. It was a huge win. It was an important win. Yo, guys, I just looked over here. We're only at 17 likes on YouTube, still only 3 on Facebook. Make sure you hit that like button, please, guys. Please, I greatly appreciate it. Follow, whatnot. You know the deal. But it was a big win. It was a gritty win. It was a never give up kind of win. And that's what we need. That's what we like. That's what we love about this team. This is the last year. Like I'm thinking about the identities of last year's team and this year's team. And while last year's team was great, I mean, a lot of flash, a lot of boom, a lot of excitement, a lot of big plays. I'm an old school mentality guy. I'll take this identity of the never give up, the fight for every inch and the next play up mentality. And that's what Jalen Hurts, I think, said that at some point. Maybe after the game, as I was getting ready for Betty, maybe he said it in his post game interview. Next play. Next play. That's all that matters. That's it. The stream doesn't really start until the hard reset. Do you want me to prematurely reset just so it can start for real? Phil, you're the one who watched Galaxy Quest. I've watched Galaxy Quest at least 100 times. At least. Absolutely. We used to do a shot in college. Every time they go, never give up, never surrender. Every time. Every time. Let's talk about the real winner today, Phil's Wi-Fi blackout show. Is that we're still calling it the blackout show yesterday? Yesterday was the blackout show. That's right. Power outage. Hey, power outage happened. It's funny. I told my wife after the show, I'm like, man, what happened with that short power outage? She's like, what power outage? And I'm like, didn't you see that the power went out? She's like, no. But that would explain why the dryer turned off randomly in the morning. Like, yeah, that would be why. Absolutely. Casey figured out how to slow down Davis and Carter in the first half. Then they told them not to over pursue the quarterback last night, and the second half was so different. Absolutely. Carter and Davis had quiet. Let me pull up. I don't even know what the box score says on defense, but let me see real quick. Milton Williams, by the way. I'm looking at the box score. We got to get to Milton Williams in a second. So Carter had 3 tackles, and Jordan Davis had 3 tackles last night. The box score doesn't do those 2 guys any justice. They had a lot of push, a lot of pressure all game long. Milton Williams, I know he got hurt late in the game, and I hope he's okay. But Milton Williams had a very, very strong game. You guys know I'm very high on Milton Williams. Have been. He's had not a quiet season, but not the progression that I expected from him this year. But he had a very, very good game last night. Was in the backfield a lot last night. So you got to give where we're always going to talk about Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter. They're the big names. They're the first round picks and whatnot. Milton Williams deserves a lot of credit for last night. He played very, very well last night. True that. True that. Cold and rainy all night. The rain got heavier throughout the game. Kyle, how many Eagles fans were there last night? As always, it sounded like a lot because we travel well. There had to be a decent amount of Eagles fans there last night making noise. I don't know if you made it down to shake hands with Nick Sirianni, but he was there slapping hands after the game with everybody that was in Eagles gear. I will take a crap ton of ugly wins and have another Lombardi. Absolutely. It don't matter how you win, as long as you win. Dude, we can win like this the rest of the year and win the Super Bowl, and still we would not get credit because we didn't win big. All people are going to talk about. I've already seen Cowboys fans saying things that look, they beat the Panthers 33-10. We only won by 4. I saw somebody trying to tell me this morning on social media, respond to something I posted last night, that Jalen Hurts is no better than Sam Howell because of the statistics say it. Everyone's going to take this opportunity to rain on our parade, to shit in our Cheerios this morning because we won. Our power went out yesterday too. Guys, at least it wasn't just me. I thought maybe I forgot to pay my bill. Breaking news: Matt Canada fired in Pittsburgh. It only took like 300 years too late. Milton Williams was a beast last night. I don't think anyone's going to talk about it, but they should. Milton Williams had a very good game last night. That's big. They don't fire anyone until the offseason. It is big, and that's right. There's a lot of people that have been calling for Matt Canada's head in Pittsburgh for a pretty long time now. At the end of the national anthem, the KC fans say, "And the home of the Chiefs." A fan got all worked up because I said that was disrespectful. Yeah, I get it. You've proudly served our country. I get it. I also get KC, saying what they said. Um, the fans just want to get worked up because you're an Eagles fan. You're dressed in Eagles gear. I like to be very respectful during the national anthem, as do you. I take great pride in the national anthem in our country. So yeah, I get that. I do. I will take a decade of ugly win and a decade of Lombardi. Everyone can go. Hey, no offense, that's not going to beat Kyle's comment from earlier, but still a very, very strong comment right there. Uh, is the offense coordinator getting better doing his new job as the season is going on? He hasn't gotten it all together yet, but the offense will destroy someone's defense coming up soon. Yeah, so Billy, I already touched on this a little bit, and obviously Brian Johnson had some mistakes last night. His play calling wasn't perfect. But all the crushing that's going to happen on Brian Johnson's offensive play calling is not going to take into account that we're going up against one of the 3 best defenses in football. Because that's what the Chiefs are. So how much of it was his bad play calling, and how much of it was just simply the Chiefs defense was performing at an elite level? Now, should he have adjusted quicker to quicker drops and quicker passes, maybe mix in a few more runs than he did? Sure. But, I think he's going to get unjustly crushed. He should get criticized, not crushed today, because we were going up against a great defense. And you know what? We've got some good defense coming up in the next couple weeks. But, if we struggle to put up 14 or 17 points against, say, the Giants at the end of the season, that's one thing. But right now, we're going up against some great defenses week in and week out. And they're not just going to roll over and let us score. So I think he's getting better. He's learning. I don't think he's as good as we hoped he would be. But I'm not totally blaming him and crushing him after last night. It was a concussion on Milton Williams. Yeah, he took a big hit. It looked like he hit him more on the side, but yeah, he looked like he took a hit there. I hope he's okay. He had a great game when he was out there last night. Eagles probably accounted for about 30% of the crowd. Wow, that's a lot. Kansas City's not a cheap flight. Kansas City's not a cheap trip. Man, I love hearing it, man. I love seeing it. I remind you that Casey's number one fan, the Wolfman, robbed the banks. Is that what that is? I saw that up on commercials a bunch of times. I had no idea anything about the Wolfman. How does Casey still get away with the tomahawk chop when Washington had to get rid of the Redskins? Yeah, I mean, like the Cleveland Indians had to change their name, but the Braves and Chiefs still do the tomahawk chop all the time. It's okay for them, but nobody else. Yeah, I don't get that one, K1. No, you're good. No. Hold on. No, you're good. People come and go throughout this show. We're here for 90 minutes every single morning, Billy. Make sure you hit that like and that subscribe button. That way you come on every single morning, man. We repeat parts of the conversation throughout the show as people come and go. There are loads of people that come and go for 15, 20, 30-minute segments. Can't always start at 8, can't stay till 9:30, whatever. So Don't you worry. You ask questions, we'll answer them. Well, I'll answer. We'll comment. It's all about discussing here. Is an amazing turnout for an away game in a mess city in Missouri. Yeah, don't forget Kansas City, Missouri. That's right. That's right. I like that. Spagnuolo is a big moment coordinator. Not surprised with how his defense played last night. Yes, Spags is. I mean, Spags has been around the NFL for a long time. He's been with Andy Reid since '99, let alone before that without Andy Reid. So Spags is big. He has had some bad defenses throughout his career, but his defense has always come up big plays and play in the big moments. So it's not like we were going up against some weak defense. There was going to be some hiccups last night. It was not going to be a 35-10 game for the Eagles last night. It just wasn't. So I really think that Brian Johnson's going to get unjustly criticized today, for sure. I would tell Mrs. Kelsey to shut up. How can you not love Mrs. Kelsey? Do they put her on TV too much? Sure. Has she become far too famous? Probably. But you still love it. She is a genuinely nice person, it seems like. I saw the Chiefs actually donate to the local Native American community and invite them to represent to all the games. They have just an excellent relationship with them. That's interesting. It's great knowledge on your part there, Duck. Never knew that. That's fine. Still sucks. Everyone else. I hate like between the Chiefs and the Braves. There's nothing I hate more than the tomahawk chop sound at sporting events. I hate it. It annoys me. 42 years of fandom. I'm tired of it. I love that the national media will make last night about the Chiefs drops. Please keep us out of the news. I guess we're 9-1, and we're still the underdogs. We're the only 9-1 team in the NFL, and we're still the underdogs. We're 9-1, and no one gives a crap about us. Got a very beatable Buffalo team now next week at home. I hope there's not. I will say this, guys. We're not going to get into next week's game just yet. I will say, though, and I know Nick Sirianni and Jalen Hurts are a next play up, next game up, next person up mentality. I hope there's no letdown after this big win. Because to me and you, we said it wasn't a revenge game for the Super Bowl because you can't get revenge on losing the Super Bowl. But the players probably meant a lot to the players. So I hope there's no major letdown factor next week because that would be very unfortunate. And the native tribes wanted to keep Redskins moniker. I predicted the Eagles to it. Yeah, Mark. That was a face palm kind of moment right there. Oops, right? Look, honestly, I didn't even check the weather. I don't know why I didn't check the weather. I didn't know the weather was supposed to be bad. I would have changed my predictions if I knew the weather was going to be bad. Spags also has lasted so long because he adapts to the modern game. The defense he has now is not what he used. Absolutely. And you have to, you either adapt or you die. You adapt or you get kicked out. That's what you do in life. If she was a better mother, she would warn Travis that Taylor is the devil. Stop. Have you hated the chop since the '80s Brave domination? It makes me cringe. It does. I mean, I'm old like you, Doc. The Braves killed me with it. I honestly, and now with our newfound rival against the Chiefs, hate it even more. No one likes us, and we don't care. What is up, Freddie Defoe? I care. I want people to like us. I want us to get the respect. We just beat the reigning, defending, undisputed Super Bowl champions, and we're going to get zero respect for it. Zero respect. The Atlanta Braves said after the Washington football team and the Cleveland baseball team changed names that the Braves weren't changing anything. Of course, Braves suck anyway. Love the chop. You are insane. Also, let it be a lesson. Don't tomahawk chalk at Philly. Didn't end well for the Braves either. Absolutely. Absolutely. A man needs to play fast and loose with the devil everyone once in a while. I'm sure he's riding that ride as long as she lets him. We're talking about Taylor Swift. Look, they're either going to break up after this loss or they're going to get engaged after this loss. And because he's going to go running, crying to her. It's so fun. I love it. Everybody gets so worked up over the Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift stuff. I think it's hilarious. I really do. Please tell what this is. Look, get the San Francisco 49ers out of here, man. The 49ers have no idea what they're coming in 2 weeks. We got the 49ers, and the 49ers game's at home, right? I think. Yeah. They don't know what they're walking into. Is it a better this team is a more gritty team than the one that beat the 49ers last year in the NFC Championship game. Bring it on. Bring Brock Purdy on. Bring Josh Allen on. Bring them all on. Are we going to win the rest of our games? No. We're probably going to lose 1 or 2 games in the next couple of weeks. But let me tell you something. Bring it on. I ain't scared of anyone. Who's my player of the game, Mitchie Poo? Oh, player of the game. That's a tough one, man. I want to say Devontae Smith for the big catch. I want to say Devontae Smith. I want to say a lot of guys. But I got to go Jalen Hurts. I know statistically speaking, he did not play well last night. But Jalen Hurts is the leader of this team. The next play up mentality that he mentions, that we just, one play doesn't work, it's just the next play, the next play, the next play. After he took the lead on that touchdown run, you just see him on the sideline. No emotion. Interception, no emotion. Touchdown, no emotion. And that translates to the rest of the team so well that I love it. So he's my player of the game. He scored 2 touchdowns. Statistically speaking, wasn't great. Let me tell you something. A night like last night doesn't come down to one player specifically. A night like last night comes down to leaders leading, and that's what happened. He gets my player of the game because he led us last night. I love chop too. Lamb chops, pork chops, stuffed pork chops. Bills and Niners are at the link. That's right. I thought so. I wasn't positive, but I think so. Taylor Swift is an at the moment for the NFL. ATM at the moment. I'm good with it because it's fake. Then it is what it is. If it's real, I'm happy. Exactly. Who cares? Williams or Smitty should be player of the game. I give player of the game to Jalen Hurts for leading us into battle. No one player had that big of a standout game on the Eagles. Bills don't scare me at all. I won't sleep on them, but they are not a threat. Look, we're 9-1. Nobody's a threat. We're the best team in the NFL right now. I mean, it doesn't mean anything once the playoffs come. We're the best team in the NFL. And this team and last night's win just goes to prove to me. When we get to the playoffs, we will get to the playoffs, that I don't care how a game goes, whether we're down 10, up 15, tied at the half, whatever, this team will never give up, never surrender, and this team will always find a way to win. I love it. I love it. Nobody's a threat. Taylor just released a new song called You Fumbled My Heart. Probably. She's probably already writing it. Emotionally, the Bills could be a trap game due to this. Yeah, and that thought literally popped into my head this morning when I was making my coffee, which I've only drank half the cup so far. Let me get a little sip in there. It does leave the opportunity for a trap game, for sure. But trap games shouldn't happen. They already have. I guess the Jets game was a look-ahead game, and we fell trapped to that. I just don't think the Eagles are a trap game type team because Jalen Hurts is such an excellent leader. I agree, Phil. Hurts is a winner when facing adversity. Dak and Howe have the numbers, but the game is on the line. Can we throw Justin Herbert's name in that comment, please? Because I just love to bash Justin Herbert, supposedly, according to social media, when I present facts. But yeah, Dak and Howe have the numbers. I'll take Jalen Hurts and his 150 yards over Sam Howell's 400 yards and a loss. Just saying. Sorry, Washington. I think Washington's got something good going with Sam Howell. Maybe. We'll see next year with a new coach and whatnot. But Jalen Hurts is a winner. I mean, just look at the stats. Look at the numbers. Look at everything he has done over the last 2 years. He is a winner. He has the most elite intangibles I've ever seen from a Philadelphia athlete. Honestly, if we're talking the leadership intangibles, I do not think you can name a single Philadelphia athlete that matches him. Chase Utley would be close, but I don't think it's on Jalen Hurts' par, and baseball's a little different. Joel Embiid doesn't have it. Nobody in the McNabb era had it. Trying to think, Allen Iverson had some intangibles, but not the Jalen Hurts intangibles, because Jalen Hurts does it on and off the field. Iverson only did it on the court. There is no Philadelphia athlete that has the intangibles that Jalen Hurts has ever, the leadership wise. I don't. I don't think so. If the Cowboys beat the Chiefs last night, they would be definitely. Yeah, I mean, oh my God, could you imagine what the Cowboys would be saying? Man, yeah, they would be. They'd be. Yeah, yeah. That's all we'll say is yeah. K1, you would talk for that one. Yeah, K1's always on fire in the morning. He's more awake than I am, that's for sure. It was so frustrating watching our defensive line trying to crowd Casey's quarterback. Yes, he is that elusive. But also the Eagles defense has had a lot of trouble this year. It's the thing I say on this show all the time, Billy, is that we lead the league in almost sacks. And we led the game last night in a lot of almost sacks. But Patrick Mahomes is also one slimy, slippery little you know what. And he just gets out of trouble all the time. It's what he does well. Um, there's a reason why. Just think about this, guys. Like I've said it before, we just beat one of the 5 greatest quarterbacks of all time. Patrick Mahomes is gonna, barring a massive injury, he's probably gonna play another 8 years in the NFL at least. And he's already one of the top 5 of all time. I mean, I haven't thought about the exact numbers, but obviously Tom Brady is above him. You know, but Patrick Mahomes might go down as the 2nd greatest quarterback we have ever seen and will ever see. So, is he that elusive? Yes. Is he that good? Yes, he's that damn good. What did I say yesterday? The better coach and quarterback normally win the game. The better quarterback and coach did not win the game yesterday. It's the asterisk to it. We got out coached, we got outplayed. But the player with the better intangibles, Jalen Hurts, did win that game. I'm heading a lot of negative Bills talk. Let me speak on that. We'll get to the Bills in a few days. All right. On Friday, we'll get to the Bills. About time for that hard reset. It's 9:02. Shit, I'm late on. We're late on the reset. You're watching Trending in the AM right here on Philadelphia Sports Network. There's 31 people live in the chat right now. 20 likes on YouTube, 4 on Facebook. Hit that like button, please, for me. I greatly appreciate it. I am Phil Stiefel. You can follow me on all social media platforms at Beard Knowledge, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, all of them. Just search me if I'm there. You'll find me under that thing. Eagles win 21-17. We're taking your reactions right here. But make sure you hit those like buttons for me, and let's get right back to the comments. I saw Sam Howell and Tanner McKee come off the Celtics bench. Yeah. Whoa. You're really trying to stir the pot. Oops, I did it again. Oh, man. So you think Rivera gets canned and Bieniemy gets the head coach of the Commies? I think the fact that Ron Rivera hasn't gotten canned yet this year is insane. I thought they would try to give Bieniemy at least 6 or 7 games as interim. But I don't know. Maybe Josh Harris just cleans house at the end of the year and cuts bait with everybody and starts fresh. I don't know. But the fact that Ron Rivera is still coaching is kind of insane to me. You're nuts, pretty. She is nuts right now. She is completely and totally nuts right now. Yeah, and this is what I think. He either it depends when they fire Ron Rivera. If they do it now and you get 5 weeks of Eric Bieniemy, maybe if he does well. But if they wait till the end of the season, they're just going to clean complete house. AI was an MVP on and off the court. My 14-year-old self didn't understand how much pain AI brought to the team and their PR. Yeah, he just didn't have the leadership. He led by example on the court. I always say if Allen Iverson just worked out once, not once a week, like once in his career, he would have been a 10 times better basketball player, and he's one of the best of all time already. Not to change the subject, well, obviously, not to change the subject, but yeah, thanks. Has anyone realized how hard Blankenship hits? He makes receivers think twice. He does. Like I'm still trying to figure out why Reed Blankenship played 3. Did I even say that yet? If you look at the snap counts, Reed Blankenship had 3 offensive snaps last night. Where? I don't know. When? I have no idea. Why? No clue. But the dude played offense, defense, and special teams last night. Give the guy the defensive MVP of the week right there, for sure. Dude, I said that too. Reed hits hard and stays around the ball. Look, Reed Blankenship's going to be a bend, don't break, or a boom or bust type safety. He's going to get beat sometimes, and he does get beat sometimes. But when he makes a play, he makes big plays. And he makes big plays at impactful moments. And that's what's really key. You want the guys making the big plays when it matters the most, and he does do that. He needs another Super Bowl ring or 2 to be top 3 ever. Now, he might be top. He's definitely top 5 man chat of Patrick Mahomes, but he might be top 3. I don't know. Yep, and you can see how how he normally plays. Last game wasn't really him, just getting back up to speed. Beard bro, call to hit that like button. Otherwise, Taylor won't break the Travis Hart before the Super Bowl. Yeah. All right, we're up to 22 likes now. We're slowly climbing on the like chain right now. But I would really like 30, 35 likes at some point before the show ends. A few more on Facebook wouldn't hurt. You know, Phil wasn't premature to that. I was a little late, a little late to draw there. If I were the commies, clean house and bring in Flores. If you were the commies, that's fine. Yeah, but I wouldn't want them to do that. That would be a bad thing for the Eagles' big picture. Because Brian Flores is a great, great coach. And whoever gets him to be their next head coach is going to get a steal. So no, I don't want the commies doing that. No, I want the commies to go hire Jason Garrett out of the NBC Sports book, or go get Chris Sims the coach or something. That's what I want them to do. Really ranted about practice and superstar players are now fined for missing games. AI is a true pioneer. He is absolutely. Why Harris don't fire Rowboat Ron? He's not even paddleboat. He's Rowboat Ron. Now, since everyone in the world knows he's dead, it is one of the most baffling things in a very, very confusing NFL season how Ron Rivera is still the head coach. I don't get it. Good morning, Jonathan. Good morning. It is a great morning when the Eagles win. Eagles got their must-win. Caven Byard saved the day. Braden Robbie with the forced fumble. Hallie's free agents were – look, we've only briefly touched on the Braden Robbie, Mike Tyson punch-out fumble force there. It was a huge play, a huge moment. And you look, if you follow like Chris Franklin or Ed Kratz, Martin Frank, the big-time beat reporters that I love, all have been on this show in the past. What were they working on in practice this week? Defensive backs forcing fumbles. There are video clips of them doing extra drills, not regular drills, extra drills of punching out balls. Guess what? If you practice it and you practice it 110%, guess what? Implement it in the game, it's successful. Just saying, Jonathan. Everyone's going to go to the interception on Kevin Byard. But that Bradley Robbie play, massive. Massive, massive. Also, leave Brittany alone. I want to talk about a different Brittany. Well, his name's not Brittany. It's Britton Covey. Is it crazy to say Britton Covey's the best Eagles punt returner we've had in a long, long time? Deshaun Jackson, I guess. I mean, Britton Covey had some really great returns last night, just so you know. Top 5, yes. Absolutely top 5. I just haven't really thought long and hard about who I would put ahead of him. Nice callback, Marshawn. That's right. Yep, absolutely. Thank you, my liege. I love the word liege. It just sounds cool rolling off the tongue. I can only hit the like button once. You can create like 4 burner accounts and hit it 4 more times. But we are up to 23. We're slowly climbing. Well, that's the assumption I am getting. GM money, and getting paid to make them better. Otherwise, they could suck for the next decade for all I care. I want every team to suck other than the Eagles. Brittany wrote a book called The Woman Inside Me that is all about the men that have – seriously? You can't be serious about this. Peanut, you are one sarcastic SOB. You got to tell me that this is a joke. Like, it's got to be. I wouldn't doubt it, but it's got to be. I think the commies are not firing Rivera yet because they want a complete rebranding, new name. Absolutely. And I think, Duck, that is possibly the case. That's why they didn't fire him in the beginning of the season or before the season, because they just changing ownership, needed some consistency. Rivera will be gone. And if it's at the end of the season, then so will Bieniemy. If it's soon, then Bieniemy will get a chance, and who knows after that. But they got to clean house. GM, coach, hell, they might even move. You hire a new GM and a new coach. Sam Howell might not even be their long term guy. They traded away Montez Sweat and Chase Young for more picks. They're looking at the future. And they lost to Tommy DeVito. So, I don't know what else to say. I love Brittany more. You're nuts. I joked about winning the turnover battle, but guess what? We did win the turnover battle. We only had one turnover. They had two. We lost time of possession. We lost the total plays. Mitch, are you sir or yeah? What that mean? Yeah. Sadly, not a joke. You're telling me she wrote a book about the men that have. Yeah, I can't say what I want to say, and not get dinged on YouTube for this. And this is not. That's hilarious. Um, yeah, too many comments about Britney Spears today. Um, yeah, no, yeah. Taylor's more put together and smart. Taylor Swift is a phenomenal business person. She knows what she's doing. Not only is she, I guess she's talented. It's not my cup of tea music wise, um, but she's a phenomenal business person. I bet you she could never perform again ever in her life. And the money she's making on everything she's done already will cover her for a long, long list of generations. Her family, and Brittany, she just became a nut job. I, that's the. I mean, Taylor was pretty young when she became famous too. But man, Britney's been in the limelight since I guess hell when she was on the Mickey Mouse Club back in the early '90s. I mean, crazy. I mean, so those child stars, man, they almost always don't work out when you push your child into that kind of situation far too early. Talk to me in 10 years when Swift can't bring in the cash. She's already brought enough cash to not worry about. She's not worried about 10 minutes from now on cash anymore. Cavs versus Sixers in the in-season tournament tonight. Mitchie Poo, I love you, my man, but who gives a rat's ass because the Eagles just beat the Kansas City Chiefs last night? I'll worry about the Cavs and Sixers tomorrow. I'll worry about the Cavs and Sixers tonight. But right now, I am not worried about the Sixers. I'm not. Sixers should beat the Cavs tonight. Just so you know, for sure. Phil, hit the hard reboot roulette. You get what you get. That's why they call it gambling. Hey, gambling is gambling. The commies need a coaching overhaul. Stadium real build, of course, and a new logo on the helmet. The dub is so blah. Absolutely. And I would not be shocked if they did that. I would be shocked if Josh Harris, and from what I know of Josh Harris with the Sixers and stuff, just got a good feeling on his personality as a whole. I would not be shocked if he tries to find a way to bring the Redskins name back. Just saying. At the very least, make it like a once a year throwback thing because he's all about the bottom dollar. He's all about money. And Washington super fans and whatever they call their team, the Commanders, the whatever, that once a week, week 10 the NFL, the Redskins are back for 1 week only. They could sell new Redskins merch. Dude, the fans would eat it up. Josh Harris would make a ton of money. I would not be shocked if the Redskins name comes around again, at least part time. Would not be shocked. Very true. But their fan base is demoralized for sure. I mean, I love my Ref the District guys. They do a great podcast network over there in DC. But man, they got to be so frustrated, so frustrated. Time to talk turkey. We're saving turkey for Wednesday and maybe Thursday if we do a Thursday show. Haven't decided yet on the Thursday show. We'll see what I do Wednesday night if we do a Thursday show. But I wouldn't mind jumping on Thursday morning a little later than normal. Talk the 3 Thursday night football games and whatever else comes up. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see how I'm feeling. We'll see what time I get home from work on Wednesday night. Uh, the commies will pay what it takes to get the Red Wolves or the Red Tails names and sites and go for it. The Red Tails is what a lot of people wanted them to go with to begin with. They will do a few throwback nights donating Redskins to Native communities. And that right there is a very Josh Harris type thing to do. It is. They should be the Braves or something more respectful, but still have the toughness of native warriors. We'll be rolling in the cash because Washington fans are loyal, a little too loyal. Hey, all of us, we're too loyal to the Eagles. We're too loyal to the Sixers and the Phillies. Every crazy fan, anybody that's a sports fan is loyal to their team. It is what it is. We're all loyal. But why are we spending so much time worrying about the Washington whatevers? We're the Eagles. The Eagles are what really matters. Commanders is a good for Galaxy Quest. Never give up, never surrender. You guys love my Galaxy Quest impersonation. I know you do. Not anymore. The city is totally transient. Is it? It could be. I don't know. Um, Kyle used to live down in the DC Baltimore area. I wonder what he thinks of that. But anyway, we got about 15 minutes left in the show. So there's still 31 people watching the chat right now. 4 likes on Facebook, 24 on YouTube. Make sure you hit that like button for me, guys. I'd greatly appreciate it. It's free to do. What is your prediction for our end of season record after a huge win in KC? You want me to look ahead a little bit? All right, we'll look ahead a little bit. Let me pull up the schedule in a little bit more detail, like a time zone. So obviously we got Buffalo and San Francisco, the next 2 games. I see the Buffalo game potentially being a trap, but I'll just say we go 1-1 the next 2 weeks. In fact, I'll say we'll go 1-2 because I think we'll lose in Dallas. Sunday Night Football. It's a tough game. Something like we go lose Buffalo, win San Francisco, lose Dallas. Then we're gonna sweep the table after that. So that puts us at only 2 more losses the rest of the season, and that puts us at 14-3. Number 1 seed and the favorite to get back to the Super Bowl. That's all you need. I would say we'll be hard pressed to lose more than 2 games. I might be just being very cautiously, conservative, even saying losing 2 more games. Would it be a shock to say that they don't lose 2 more games, that they only lose 1 more game the rest of the year? Like, I'm trying to be cautious. I'm trying to be fair, not try to sound homerish, but this team just finds ways to win. Everything you read about last night's game says the Eagles should have lost to the Kansas City Chiefs. But go look on ESPN.com. It says in the box score the Eagles won 21-17. Why? Because this team always finds ways to win. So it is what it is. 2 more losses. That's it. Maximum. My bro is a buddy who lives in Cal now and still roots for the Skins and stupidly pets him. Well, that's stupid. I told you all the Eagles would win. No way they were losing. Yeah, dude, again, like I said at the start of the show, Kyle, you need to go to every Eagles-Chiefs game in Kansas City on your birthday for the rest of your life. Because they're 1-0 in Kansas City on your birthday now. So you better the next time they play on your birthday in Kansas City, you better be there. What game, Duck, do you see them losing? Buffalo or Dallas or San Fran? Because they're the only 3 games that they could lose. Now until Thursday, I need side suggestions. But you got to have great mashed potatoes. And on Thanksgiving, they better be made homemade. Got to have mashed potatoes with lots of gravy. Stuffing, of course. Vegetables, I'm not really a big vegetable on Thanksgiving fan. I don't think the Thanksgiving vegetables are really that good. I hate cranberry sauce. I do. I do. I lived in Nova for a few years. It's mostly federal, Northern Virginia. Okay, mostly federal employees and related contractors. Everyone's from somewhere else. Absolutely. I had a job offer back after college to work at George Washington University there in D.C. And I looked at Northern Virginia. I looked at Bethesda, Maryland. It's just so expensive to live down there. That's not why I didn't take the job. A lot of other reasons. But yeah, I mean, everybody's from somewhere else around DC, for sure. I see them losing the Dallas game and having to deal with that BS for I know. We'll lose Dallas, but win the Super Bowl. But Dallas fans will say, but you didn't beat us at home. We're the better team. We should have won the Super Bowl because we beat you at home. That'll be I would rather lose 4 of the next 5 games as long as that one win was against the Cowboys, just to keep the Cowboys' mouth shut. Commies is short for communist, not commanders. You probably already know that, but some people may not. Um, Yeah, 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 yeah. You need to have a birthday every week the Eagles play. Can we take up a GoFundMe page so Kyle gets to every game now? Dallas probably. Yeah, probably. There's a chance. Uh, I'm Portro Rican for years, and we have rice, beans, and slow roast pork. That's an interesting Thanksgiving dinner. But honestly, I wish I was invited. I'm not sure why I haven't been invited yet, Peanut. You never had my green bean casserole with homemade cream and mushroom. Well, I haven't been invited over. Look, Peanut and Kyle dropping hints, and it's not like I haven't had it. I haven't had it because you haven't invited me over. Haven't had me over. That sounds so good. My fam does Viet morning and afternoon traditional Thanksgiving dinners. I like that. I'm not really. I don't know if I've had Vietnamese cooking. I've had a lot of different Asian cuisines in my life. Not sure if I've ever had any. I don't know what the difference between Vietnamese and some of the other Asian cultures are, food wise, cooking wise. I'm not sure if I've ever had any of theirs, but I'm not a big Asian cuisine because of some of the flavors and some of the ingredients that they cook a lot with are not things I like. Like a lot of Asian cuisine has a lot of broccoli in it. I can't stand broccoli. That's just one example. Are you a hitman for Uncle Sam? I hope not. Look over my shoulder, make sure he's not aiming at me right now. Um, I'm not aware of any such operations, nor would I be at the liberty to discuss. Yeah, if you did discuss, you'd have to kill him afterwards too, right? Obviously. Catch up on some more comments here. We called them the commies because it was a stupid name for an NFL team, and they effing wear red. Did no one think of this? Absolutely. I mean, I will always call them the commies just because of that. Pad Thai I love a good pad Thai. I do. I love cooking from Thailand. I do. Y'all making me hungry. I am hungry. I only had time to make one egg this morning, and that's it. I had one egg and a tortilla shell. That was my breakfast. Vietnamese food is phenomenal, bro. Spice is real. Love good spice, man. I do. I love Yep. I love Filipino food. It's such a great feeling of Western food with a great Eastern twist. I could do a good beaming sandwich or something. Let's see. Look at all this food conversation. You passed the test. We have a mission for you. Should you choose to accept it, Agent K. All right. We're into the final 5 or so minutes of this show, guys. So it's time to start the wrap up process. We got to 29 likes on YouTube now, 4 on Facebook. We are this close to getting to the 30 like mark, guys. At least give me Eagles win 21-17. The least you can do is get me to 30 likes on YouTube. Come on. The Eagles didn't score 30, but at least you can like this show 30 times. Hard to get that stuff. Yeah, exactly. Can we get back to talking about Taylor Swift or football? Yeah, I know. I'm literally starving right now because of the way this conversation is going. Starving right now. Starving. We all agree nothing beats Fox's Pizza. Exactly. Come check me out, Fox's Pizza, Kennett Square, PA. Best pizza shop in Southern Chester County, right there. I don't have a sponsor, so I sponsor myself. That's the way it works, right? That is the way it works. And you know what? I won't lie. I know it's Thanksgiving week and it's normally a very busy week for me. Monday night football games are not normally good for business, but Monday night football games on Thanksgiving week when there's a lot of people home from school, a lot of people off from work, et cetera, I got slammed last night before the game. Slammed. So I got a big ass mess to clean up too because I didn't feel like cleaning up. I wanted to get home for the game. You need to get to a good Viet restaurant. Banh mi is just street food. The other stuff is so good. I honestly can't say that I've ever had it. We're up to 30 likes, and my screen still says 29. Likes are free. Your opinions matter. That's right. Um, Martian has a mission for me, but it's classified. Beard Bros, hit the like and get us to 30. You want to get me to 30? We got 5 minutes left. You want 5 more likes in the last 5 minutes? Most of the core 12 are watching, but not many other people at this point. We've fallen. We were averaging about 32 people live watching. We're down in the low 20s now, but that's about it. I see more comments coming in here. I'll get to them as soon as they pop up on the screen. One day, some of us need to go to the trending in the AM Mecca. I know, I know. You know, Peanut, Jeff's been there. Your Birds Beer and BS partner's been there at least twice. Peanut has not. It's kind of disappointing. It's only an hour and a half drive for you. I'm ignorant, but trying to learn. I love trying different cuisines. I really do. I've been traveling the world in my life. And I try to try food everywhere I go. Let's argue that Godfather. Why would you do that? Why would you try to a perfectly good show this morning? We are having a great show, a lot of fun, a great conversation, new people, lots of views, lots of likes, and then you're going to throw some BS crap like that into the comment section, Marshawn? What are you talking about? Why would you do that? Why? Why? Why would you? That's right. Sophia Capella is criminally underrated actress. Absolutely. Uh, that's obvious. Marshawn, you funny, funny like a clown. You amuse me with comments like that. You do. Um, once, once I thought I was out, they pulled me back in. I don't do the impersonation as good as Silvio Dante does in The Sopranos, but it's the best I could do on a quick notice like that. Let's keep liking these comments and wrapping this show up here. There's a reason she's an award-winning director and not an award-winning actress. Look, let's get off the Godfather. Let's get off the food. Let's wrap this Eagles shebang up. Eagles win 21-17. As Mitchie Poo said, there's a Sixers game tonight. We'll keep this Eagles conversation going tomorrow. I need more time to, like normally a 1 o'clock game, you've got the rest of the day to digest what you saw. I kind of need more time today to digest last night's game, so I'm not totally overreacting. Oh my God. Casino is mad to me. It's complete. I love Casino. It does not rank up there with Godfather 2. It does not rank up there with Goodfellas. Hell, it doesn't rank up there with The Bronx Tale. But Casino is still a damn good gangster movie. It's 10 times better than Scarface, in my opinion. I do love it. And I do love, there's quite a few scenes in it that I just love. But it doesn't rank up there with the other top 3 at all. I just love triggering. Nobody triggers me. The only thing that triggers me, well, Chris Sims, Dan Cilio, they trigger me. That's it. That's right, Adam. Fly, Eagles, fly, baby. 4 minutes. Let's talk movies. I got 3 minutes, less than 3 minutes on my screen listed. Just trying to stir this pot. Everybody stirs the pot. Phil gets triggered easily when it comes to movies. I am a passionate movie guy. Like some good gumbo. Like I said, it's a lot like a little like religion and a lot like sex because you never know when you're gonna get it next. Godfather 3, feet, Kenny Gainwell. Yeah, basically. That's it. Just check. They're the things that trigger me the most. Casino was a more violent Goodfellas, and that's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. Yeah, absolutely. Go Birds. That's right. We got to wrap this up, guys. What the one Donnie movie? I don't know what you're talking about. Let's wrap this up. Yeah, exactly. Let's wrap it up. Carlito's Way, Better Casino. It's borderline, but maybe. All right, guys. Trending in the AM right here on Philadelphia Sports Network. Make sure you hit the like button, the follow button, the subscribe button, the share button. Even if you're watching on replay, I do check all comments. I try to respond to as many as I can. So make sure you do that. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. What soups? I haven't made any soups in like the last 2 days. Haven't had time. I got such a mess in my shop, and with Thanksgiving being close, I probably won't make a soup again the rest of this week, Adam. I won't lie. But you tell me what you want, Adam, and I will make it the next soup. Did you hear RG3 trying to get Brown to sign him? No, I did not. That would be stupid. He hasn't played in the NFL in a long time. Glorious Bastards, best Tarantino movie. That's a really good movie. Underrated movie for sure. For realsies. Absolutely. All right, guys. Trend in the AM today is over. We're going to wrap it up for Philadelphia Sports Network. I am Phil Stiefel. Like, subscribe, follow, share. Please, please, please. Tune in tonight, 7:30. Flipping the Birds. The crew, the Eagles writing crew, will be here talking about it as well. So make sure you tune in. Back tomorrow, 8 a.m. Y'all have a great day. And guys, Victory Tuesday. So let's go Birds.